All right, today we're jumping into something really powerful, a kind of parable, or reimagining, called The Red Death and the Sacred Yes. Let's just start right here, because this quote, it's everything. Only those who have faced the ultimate negation can ever truly utter a yes that is not a scream of terror. So what on earth does that mean? Well, think about it. A real, deep, honest yes to life, it can't come when you're just comfortable and ignoring the hard stuff. No way. The idea here is that you can only earn it by staring right into the abyss, confronting the absolute end of everything, and still choosing to say yes. This is way beyond just surviving, you know? It's about a complete transformation that happens right after that confrontation. Okay, so let's set the scene. We're starting in the aftermath. The party is long over, we're standing in the ruins of Prince Prospero's Abbey, and it is absolutely silent. And the destruction, it's total. It's not just the people who are gone, it's their whole world of illusions. The masks are literally on the floor. The clock that ticked away their fear, it's shattered into a million pieces. And, this is key, what the parable calls the spirit of gravity is just wreckage. Now what's that? Think of the spirit of gravity as this heavy, crushing weight of tradition. You know, all the rules, all the thou shalts that society piles on you, all of that, it's been completely dismantled. And this is such a critical point. The Red Death showing up, it wasn't just game over. It was an act of absolute no, a total rejection of that hollow world. But here's the twist. That no wasn't a dead end. It was more like plowing a field. You have to tear everything up to prepare the soil for something new to grow. It created this raw, fertile ground, a world finally free from inherited illusions. This brings us to a really, really challenging idea. How could this total annihilation be a gift? How could this destruction actually be the highest form of love? Especially for a future that the destroyer, the Red Death, would never even get to see. So why? Why was all this necessary? Well, the parable tells us it was to clear out the world of the last men. Now, these are people who just want comfort, right? They want safety. They hide from any real risk, from any true greatness. So by wiping the slate clean, the Red Death basically makes room for the possibility of what's called the Overman, a future, more creative, more powerful kind of human. It stops that potential from being smothered by mediocrity. It's actually a violent but necessary act, like pruning a tree. You have to cut away the dead branches so the whole thing can grow stronger and reach for the sky. And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. Look at the difference. On one side, you've got Prospero's world, built on inherited illusions, petty comforts, a heavy, leaden silence, all locked behind walls of fearful stone. And on the other, the world the Overman could build, all about spontaneous dance, a holy kind of stillness, a truth that actually, a world born from creative fire. The contrast couldn't be more stark. So, the old world is gone. It's rubble. What comes next? What can possibly grow from these ruins? It's not just some quiet acceptance of what's left. Oh no. It's a monumental, joyful shout of affirmation. This is the sacred yes. And the ultimate test, the final exam for this sacred yes, is a concept called eternal recurrence. Just imagine this for a second. What if you were told you had to live this exact life, your life, over and over again for all eternity? Every single moment, the good, the bad, the beautiful, the tragic, on a loop forever. To be able to look at that, at the whole package and scream, yes, well, that's what it means to truly love your fate. Just think about that for a second. The very same halls where Prospero and his court trembled in fear every time that clock chimed, those halls are now ready for the sound of laughter. This new philosophy, this sacred yes, it throws off all those heavy weights, the guilt, the false hope, and leaves you with this incredible lightness. It's a total embrace of life exactly as it is, warts and all. But how do you even get there? How does a person reach that state of being? It's not a switch you can just flip. It requires a massive transformation, a complete metamorphosis of the spirit. And this transformation happens in 3 stages. First, the spirit is like a camel. It just bears the weight of this great dragon, and the dragon is basically every rule and value ever put on us. It's the world of thou shalt. So to get free, the spirit has to become a lion. The lion is the great destroyer, the one who roars, I will, and smashes that old prison of values to bits. In our story, The Red Death, he is the lion. He creates freedom by destroying what came before. But, and this is a big but, the lion can only destroy. It can't build anything new. For that, you need one last change. The spirit has to become the child. The child is a new beginning, a clean slate, a spontaneous creator whose very being is just a joyful, sacred yes. And right here, we see the Red Death's journey come to its end. He's played his part, he was the lion, his job is done. Because this new sacred yes, it doesn't need a destructive force to guide it anymore. So as the possibility of this new dawn rises, the spirit of negation, he just starts to fade away. So what's left behind? Not just a pile of rubble. He leaves a void. But this isn't an empty, sad void. It's a fertile void, just brimming with potential for a world that's finally been unburdened from its past. His exit is just as quiet and profound as his entrance was. He doesn't stick around for a victory lap. He was a force of necessity, a stage in a much grander cycle. And now that his purpose is fulfilled, he just dissolves back into the mountain mist, like a ghost of something that had to happen. And that's why this void is so important. It isn't emptiness. It's a space that's literally overflowing with potential. That silence, which used to be filled with fear, it's now a bridge to a truth that can laugh. The Red Death was the brutal, necessary winter that allows a real spring to finally arrive, not just some weak repeat of the past, but something totally new and vibrant. He's cleared the ground for a true, unmediated existence. And so, we land right here. The Red Death was the ultimate tragedy, the absolute and final no. But it's that very act of negation, that total tearing down, that makes the first true yes even possible. It's an affirmation waiting for a new kind of humanity, the sons of the morning, who are finally ready to create and dance in the dawn of a world they build for themselves.